Hi everyone, this is Henry from How to Become, and welcome to our fourth and final video on the Romans in Britain. This one's about the legacy left by the Romans in Britain. Okay, let's get started. How the Romans changed Britain. Following their various conquests in Britain, the Romans maintained control on the island for nearly 400 years. Of course, the Romans' presence here caused a massive change in Britain. And while they often treated the Celts who lived in Britain when they arrived cruelly, they brought new technology and culture. Many things the Romans introduced still affect our lives today. So, when Britain became a province of the Roman Empire, many lives changed massively. Thousands from across the rest of the empire soon came to settle in Britain. One of the biggest things the Romans changed was education. Many more Britons began to learn how to read and write. So, before the Romans came, the Celts in Britain mostly could not read or write. If they wanted to tell a story, it would have to be by word of mouth. So, when the Romans did come, many people in Britain, although mainly the rich and powerful, learned the language of the Romans, which was Latin. The Latin alphabet is the one we still use today. We just call it the alphabet. So, people in Britain finally began to write down laws as well as their history and other things. Along with these new literacy skills came numeracy skills. Roman numerals came to Britain. Although we don't use them so much anymore, Roman numerals opened up huge possibilities. With them, people could now do maths and tell the date. So you will have seen Roman numerals before at some point. 1 is portrayed by an I, so 2 I's are 2, and so on, until a V becomes 5, and 4 is a 1 in front of a 5, meaning the one before 5. So 4 is IV and 5 is V. Alongside this, beloved Roman hero stories came to Britain, such as Virgil's The Aeneid. Even those who could not yet read and write became familiar with such tales of war, because their characters and events would be brought to life with paintings, sculptures, and mosaics. So while the Romans certainly brought these new styles of art to Britain, as well as plays, it's important to remember that the Celts had a long history of making art before the Romans arrived. The Celts loved to build, sculpt, and paint. As well as introducing these things like theatre and literature, Romans had a large effect on how Britain was forming as a country. Pre-Romans, the Celts did not see themselves as belonging to one nation, only living in separate tribes. So you could argue that the Romans introduced what Britishness means, belonging to one country. The Romans even founded the city that's still our capital, London, or Londinium as it was named at the time. So, with all this new technology the Romans were bringing, some of it was extremely important, things like aqueducts, drains and sewers, which brought running water and toilets into people's lives. Now this transformed society. This led to the creation of large cities and the moving away of people in Britain from living in smaller settlements in tribes into larger cities and towns. Alongside this came roads to join the towns together. So all the things we've talked about ushered in a new age in Britain and a mixing of cultures. The results was the new Romano-British people. Now we still feel the impact of Romans in our country today, with things like the alphabet, aspects of our democracy and government, religion, Christianity was introduced by the Romans, and cities were founded by the Romans that we still live in today. So when the Roman Empire lost control of Britain around 400 years after they arrived, it was a very different place from when they found it. Okay, let's go on to some questions about the Romans. Now, for the answers to these questions, put your responses in the comments below, and I'll come back to tell you if you got it right or wrong. So, question 1, true or false? The Romans were in control of Britain for 400 years. Put your answer below. Question 2, name one thing that the Romans introduced to Britain that we still use today. Answers in the comments below. And question 3, what was the Roman name for London? So as I've just said, please put your answers in the comment section below and I'll comment back to mark your work. Good luck! Okay, so thanks for watching. That concludes our series on the Romans in Britain. Please let me know if you have any more questions about the topic and request different videos in the comments below as well. In the meantime, if you want more Key Stage 2 resources, please visit our website, or for more Key Stage 2 history videos, click on the playlist at the top. Thanks for watching.